Speaking of kind of plugging brands we love, I think Jeremy, you wanted to talk a little bit today about the old Mustang Mach E.
Oh boy. Well, this seems to be a bit of a controversial topic amongst just Mustang fans in general, or even muscle car fans, because they slapped a Mustang badge on both a CUV slash SUV, and it's electric. Two things that don't sort of go with the Mustang brand. And Ford's really leaning into it because they really want brand recognition with this new electric SUV slash CUV. What would you say? Was it more of a CUV or?
Yeah, I would say. I mean, it is unibody. It's low slung, so I would call it more of a CUV than anything. Yeah, it's very much that rolling architecture that everyone does now.
Yeah. And so I don't know. I was a little bit disappointed at first when I heard that it was going to be a CUV and that it was also going to be electric. And then when I saw the designs for it, it took me a while to really embrace the design because it really took me to go to the actual auto show press day and look at the car up close, and I started to fall in love with some of the lines that they went with. But anyhow, we're skirting from the topic at hand. So today, Ford released or announced the Mustang Mach-E GT Performance, and they released the stats today. Um, and they're impressive. They're not bad. They're actually quite impressive. 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. It's got a top speed of 400. Sorry, pardon me. It's got 460 horsepower, not a top speed of 460. That would be crazy. 235 miles of range. That's impressive. Um, Ben, you must have it up as well. Uh, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm actually growing on this car a little bit. I was definitely one of those people that was a little bit of an internet hater when they first said the
Hmm.
name. And I get it. You and me have discussed it. It's a marketing thing,
Yeah.
as we've said. We understand it. I get why they do it. I always wonder with these experiments how many people you piss off versus how many people the name grabs the attention from. But at the end of the day, I think if anything, it works from a marketing perspective because it really does get a lot of that attention. I don't think this car would have garnered nearly as much "what the hell is this" if they didn't stuff Mustang logos everywhere on it and just put Ford logos on it. I don't think it would have been nearly as much of the same conversation,
Yeah.
personally.
No, I think you're right on that front. And there was just so much uproar with the name. Like I remember walking into that room with a bunch of journalists, and they were just taking photos. And a lot of journalists were saying the same thing. This is not a Mustang. They can't call this a Mustang. It doesn't look like one. And to a
Yeah, you
certain,
and me were we were at the auto show together there on that press day, as you said, and it was funny that you're totally right. Like you could audibly hear the journalists critiquing
yeah,
the name of the car. It was quite funny, really, to see in person.
yeah, it was just so funny, and so I just sort of went in there with an open mind, really, because I didn't want to go in there thinking, yeah, this is not a Mustang. I gotta hate this because that's not the way you approach cars, especially new designs. And so I walked around it and I got a sense of what it was, and pictures don't really do cars justice most of the time. You really should go up and look at them.
Yeah, I totally agree. I had the same thoughts actually with the Mark V Supra was the same way. I actually was just speaking with my father last week about this. He'd seen one on the road and he hadn't seen one before in person, and he called me
Hmm.
to tell me about it. Where he's like, "I thought this car looked terrible in pictures, and now I saw one drive by me, and I thought it was the coolest looking thing." And I had the exact same thought when I saw them in press events and photos. I thought it looked weird, but I didn't want to say anything until I saw it in person. Then I saw it
Right.
in person, and I still thought it looked weird, and I started critiquing it more, and I think I actually wrote at one point an article kind of shitting on the car a little bit and why I didn't think it was a good business model. And lo and behold, I saw one at a car show, stock, and thought, oh, it doesn't look as bad out in sunlight. And then I saw one modified, and I'm like, oh, you know what? It really does take to modifications well, though. Just like a 240 or something, if you put enough aftermarket on it, it does start to look cool. And then I
Hmm.
saw one rolling, and seeing one going, there's something about the Supra, especially going down the road, that I find
Yeah.
really satisfying. There's a nice look to it when it's cruising. But yeah, I totally think that a lot of cars are that way, where seeing the Mach-E in person helped me a lot
Yeah.
grow to like the styling. And I'm excited to see when we actually see them in dealerships, on the road, driving around a little bit. I'm excited to see what I think of the look as it kind of continues to evolve, because I find my opinions always seem to grow on a lot of new designs. Um, I want to say it was maybe Doug DeMuro, but some guy that's larger in the auto industry and the YouTuber, auto journalist, content creator, whatever
Mhm.
world. I'd seen recently said something about this too, where um, basically said in a nutshell, all cars when you first see a new design you think looks weird. And it
Yeah.
tends to be the case. Sometimes it wins me over immediately. The Bronco, for example, I kind of liked instantaneously.
Oh, yeah.
Um, but a lot of cars, I do think I change my opinion of over time. So I'm excited to see how my kind of thoughts evolve on the Mach E. As far as the specs though of the new one, it's pretty impressive though. Like the 0 to 60 times good. I think it's staying competitive within its
Tesla
segment.
range. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's doing the budget Tesla thing fairly well.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see when it finally does come out if it's a logical purchase choice over a Model Y now that that's out in the market.
Yep.
At the very least, I can already say right now, personally, with full confidence, I don't see how it's any uglier than the Model Y. So at the very least, I would purchase it for styling reasons more than I would purchase the
Mhm.
Tesla. Now everything else will have to wait until we get the car to see kind of how the rest of the car is. But at the very least, I give it credit. I think it looks significantly better than probably, in my opinion, any Tesla in the market outside of the S, I think, right now. So,
Wow. Wow.
although I must admit, I'm not a huge fan of the Model Y. I think the Model Y is hideous. I think the Model 3 is also not the greatest looking. I think it's fine. I think the Y is actually straight up ugly. I think the Cybertruck is stupid. Personally, sorry.
I would have to agree with you on that one. Yeah, the Cybertruck's just fucking
Yeah,
stupid.
that truck especially, and you and me, I think we had this in some practice recordings, and we'll have to talk about it again when we get some more news on it down the
Oh,
road.
yeah.
But the Cybertruck is just one of those vehicles where I will believe it when I see it. I just want a DOT road legal version of this truck, and I'd like to see what that looks like. Because I don't trust the shape right now. I don't see how it's making it through crash test. There's a lot of reasons I don't like the Cybertruck, but the styling personally, I think it looks stupid. I don't see a situation in which I will ever grow to like the Cybertruck. Maybe again when it's in person, it'll look kind of spacey.
Maybe, yeah.
I highly doubt it because even cars like the Aztec, where people have flipped on it kind of over the years, I never grew. I always thought they were weird looking. I still do. So I doubt I will grow to like the Tesla styling. Really, to me, the Model S really is the only one that's truly elegant. I think the X, the gull wing doors are cool, but the rest of the car looks kind of awkward.
Hmm.
Uh, so yeah, I give the Mach-E credit for. I think it's probably one of the most significant electric vehicles outside of Tesla recently, save for maybe the. I will give credit to the Mach or not the Mach-E, sorry, the Jaguar XE. I want to say it was called, or IE, maybe it is.
Mm-hmm.
I-Pace. That's the one I'm thinking
I-Pace,
of.
there we go, the I-Pace, right.
I'm like, what the God, the Jaguar lettering messes with my
Isn't
brain.
there like an E-Pace as
Um,
well too?
Yes, the E-Pace, which I always think in my head is the electric one because E for electric, but no, that's the midsize or compact one. The
Oh,
I-Pace, I for electric because that makes total sense.
of course.
Uh, so yeah, I think that was a somewhat significant SUV as well, particularly because it handled so well and things like that. But yeah,
Mhm.
outside of that vehicle, Teslas, I think this Mach-E is probably one of the most significant, at least in the electric SUV market, um, for sure in recent times, and I'm excited to see what kind of continues to develop from it.
Yeah, I mean, I love what they did with the, I mean, I love the new color that they're showing off, this cyber orange. That is a strong looking color right there. I also love
Yes,
the
very cool color.
I love the faux grill too. I mean, never in my life would I think that, a fake grill would be cool. I mean, let alone fake air vents. Those aren't fully cool, but a fake grill on this car is actually pretty solid. It's pretty solid. I like it. They did a pretty good job with it.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think the car continues to grow on me, and I'm excited to see what happens with it as they kind of continue to continue to learn more about it and get closer to the release, I guess, of it.
I 1000% agree with you. Yeah.